Wishing.
Welcome to another Friday stream, everyone. Should we wait for some people to come on? Or
Yeah, we've got 38 so far.
Alright, so we'll let you guys
a few
hang
more
out in
minutes.
the hangout area before we start with the announcements. But I'm very excited about the stuff we're going to talk about today. I think everyone's going to like it too.
Yeah, it's a real, the people are winning. It's a real people day.
It's a people's day. It's the people's release. I think
Yeah.
we really went for what people wanted.
Parts shop is also a very people's thing.
Exactly.
It's in the description, so people can kind of guess. But all right.
Wait, should we start about the part shop?
Let's talk about it. So,
Right, so
just out now. What are you gonna do, Harold? Go to the shop.
Oh, I'm gonna go to shop first.
Yeah. Check it out. If you scroll all the way down, there's a new section. Need parts.
All right, let's get some parts.
Wow, look at that.
Oh my god. Look at this.
You can assemble a full comma 3 with all these parts.
Don't you guys just hate it when things break on your electronics and you can't get replacement parts? Well, not a problem anymore for the comma 3.
Yeah, so every component is there, and like for example, when you buy the cameras, you get the screws to attach the camera to the logic board. When you buy the heatsink, you get the screws to attach it. The only things like we don't include is the thermal paste, so you know, buy your own. And then there's also these parts we don't sell down here that I conveniently linked, just the Wi-Fi antennas and your own SSD. But other than that, you can build a comma 3 just from all this stuff alone, which is really exciting.
Yeah, I'm super excited about this. I mean, if you throw your comma 3 at a rock and the screen breaks, don't worry, you can just buy another screen. You don't have to buy a new comma 3. If I was a user, I'd be very excited about this.
Yeah, look, it goes right to the DigiKey place where you get the antenna. Pretty cool.
If you can buy it from somewhere else, I'll just give you the link. How nice. This is so generous.
Yeah, this is super generous. So, you know, even if a comma 3 goes out of warranty and like, I don't know, you drop it and a camera cracks, you can just buy that single camera. We sell each camera separately.
Yeah, some right to repair stuff. Oh, you get to choose which camera. Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Cool.
So, yeah, we're very excited about this. Yeah, if you break your screen, like, you know, that's not covered under warranty traditionally because you dropped it. So in that case, just go buy a new screen. Now you can, really easily.
Yeah, I think this is a really good one, guys. I think I'd be very excited about this.
Yeah, and you can, you know, if you wanted to go down that rabbit hole, buy every part and build a comma 3 yourself, but just know it'll be a little more expensive than if you just buy one from us, so why wouldn't you do that? Fully assembled.
Yeah.
There might be someone out there who'd rather build it themselves, but...
Oh, and maybe we should note.
Yes, let's note this disclaimer real quick.
Yeah, so only covered if it's dead on arrival. No warranty on these parts. I think that's pretty normal.
But yeah, that's
pretty normal for replacement parts.
Yeah, but if you know somehow parts are on arrival, obviously we'll replace it. Other than that, we test all the parts before they get sent out, so they'll all be good.
Yeah, you can stop stressing now if you're worried about like, oh, is one small thing gonna break my entire comma 3. At least now you have the opportunity to, you know, to some reasonable extent fix it yourself. I think I'm always very into right to repair and stuff, so I think this kind of stuff's very exciting. I think this fits in well with open source, and I'm guessing you guys all think the same thing, so
yeah,
I'm pretty happy about this one.
Great. Well, I'm gonna talk to Deeb.
Yeah,
Got some new hiring things that Deeb wants to talk about real quick. So, oh, we could show the. It's not fully decorated yet. I mean, there's like one or two.
1 comma 2.
There's one old comma 2.
1/2 comma 2.
It's pretty funny.
Oh, what's this?
The
over
comma
here?
Christmas tree. I have no idea. What is that? Oh, it's a speedometer. And then, of course, some comma ornaments. Yeah, we're really celebrating Christmas over here.
What has Deeb got for us?
All right, Deeb.
All right. So I just wanted to quickly shill for some job postings we put up over the last couple days. Maybe we should probably just go to the screen. All right, so we really want to hire a car interface engineer. This was previously the safety engineer job posting, but that doesn't quite capture what we're looking for. So basically we're looking for somebody to join the openpilot team and kind of own all the whole car experience and the car support. So we support, I think it's 156 cars right now.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I think we hit 100 right this time last year. So the cars are growing quite quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And this is thanks to like good testing infrastructure and the tools we built, but there's still tons of room for improvement. So basically you'll come here, you'll own the internal fleet and the external fleet, and kind of improve the bar for quality and really build tools for the community to develop really high quality carports. And then along with that, you also do some safety stuff, like when it's time to expand the safety model, you'll be kind of thinking through that and writing all the safety enforcement code for carports and verifying them.
Cool.
So I'm sure there's somebody out there in the community who'd be interested in this job.
Yeah.
Basically a software engineer who knows some things about cars, but of course you can come here and learn stuff about cars. There's not, if you're a good software engineer, it should be a good position for you.
Yeah.
And I think this should be a pretty fun job. And then we've got, this one just went up a couple hours ago, production engineer. So this person would basically kind of be at the intersection between the openpilot team and the hardware team, and you kind of work to make sure that the reliability of the device is where we want it to be, and you do this through testing infrastructure, procedures, debugging devices that come back, root causing them. So this could either be somebody with like a great software engineer who knows things about hardware, or a great hardware engineer who knows things about software, but they'll be kind of expected to write really high quality software. This isn't just a bunch of like weird test scripts all over the place and we run them. This is some pretty high quality testing infrastructure we're developing to help us kind of scale production and do this well with super high reliability on the devices.
Eric said that's what he currently does.
Is Eric, you're a software engineer, Eric? Do you want to come work here? Yeah. So it says excellent Python and Linux skills and C++. Like, I don't know, if you're a great software engineer and you don't know Python, it should be easy to pick up, but come here and you can feel free to reach out. Really looking for people to kind of come and own this stuff.
Yeah.
Like as you can see, and we have all these devices here. It would be great if somebody was here to debug them more immediately.
Here is a device.
Yeah, even the order number.
This one is stuck registering.
Oh, this one was fixed, but latest diagnosis. This could never happen.
Oh, this one has a wild problem. This one has the Greg problem.
Oh,
yeah.
the Greg device.
Yeah. If you could figure out what Greg is.
Has Greg been fixed today?
Greg has no, Greg is not fixed.
Right, so that's the first job of the new production engineer. It's
Yeah.
fixing Greg.
Yes.
Then maybe last shout out for. We're also looking for another openpilot engineer, just generally on the openpilot team. So, if car engineer or production engineer don't sound like your kind of thing, we're hiring for openpilot engineer either San Diego or Rotterdam. The other two positions are just San Diego.
Yep.
So.
Gotta be where all the production happens.
Where all the
Happens
cars
here.
are.
Yes. We have a lot of cars. We have a lot of parking now too.
Yeah, we got some great parking now.
Yeah.
Comma Prime can reach our parking. It's very exciting.
That is exciting. Yeah, I was
Oh,
pulling logs today and it just worked. Comma Connect is getting a lot better.
Yeah.
If we talk about it too much, but Comma Connect really has some cool stuff. You can now like request to upload certain files off your device, and they'll just pull over.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, you guys did a great job with that.
Yeah. So Connect's getting better. Everything's getting better.
It's the people's release of
It's
Connect.
the people's release
Yeah,
for
yeah,
everything.
People release. The
I mean,
part
the
shop.
Part shop is also
the part shop
people's
is the
release.
most people's thing we've ever done.
Yeah, I think the part shop is a real people's thing. The people's release of OpenPilot, it's like, it's for us too. We do this more
True.
for us than we do
We
it for
don't like
you.
to buy parts, but we do. All right, we'll go for a drive in the
Yep.
stream. We'll check out all the I think cool, exciting things. I mean, I'm very excited about it. I think we fixed a lot of things that people were complaining about, that we were complaining about. So I think this is going to be a really great release.
Yeah, things that have been annoying for years are now getting
Finally getting some
progress.
attention. So all right, let's
Yes.
go for a drive. I think I'll meet you outside, Chris. It's
Great.
probably best. Should have put it on LTE.
Sounds good. Yeah, I'll put it on LTE. Glad to hear everything's going well with the new unit. All right, I'm just gonna show off one more thing. I think this is pretty cool. You know, the software engineers have a Christmas tree, but we have a Christmas wreath, and we also have a Charlie Brown Christmas tree, and it plays the music. So yeah, we're working really hard on getting all the Comma 3s out from the Black Friday sale. so far we haven't even, passed any deadlines, and we're really ramping up. So for those who are still waiting, definitely, if you haven't received a shipping label yet, expect one probably next week. All right, yeah, let's go meet Harold. I'm gonna go on LTE, so I'll cut out for a second. Okay, should be back. Here we go. All right, Harold.
All right. So we gave you guys reasonably priced repair parts, and now we're gonna give you some software as well. So the first big thing that we've spent a lot of time working on for this release is behavior of the laneless model around exits. It's been a frequent complaint that when there are these types of exits that are common in America, where they split from the lane without any dividers, that openpilot sometimes kind of splits the difference or takes the exit when maybe you shouldn't have taken the exit, or just kind of swerves a little bit towards the exit. So Mitchell has done an incredible job on this. He's been working on improving that for quite a long time, and completely reworked the way we classify what exits are and how to behave around them. So we're gonna try that today. Oh, Jesus Christ. That's not a good thing. All right, there seems to be some live demo issues here, so let's confirm that's a one-off.
F. It's real live when it's not pre-recorded.
This is getting all these streams of all the negative effects of live demos, but all the none of the disadvantages, because you guys aren't here, so you don't even believe it. Anyway, that seems to have gone away.
Hear the new sounds, by the way?
Oh yeah,
another people's release thing. Take a listen.
Yeah, so the first thing is we put a lot of effort into better exits. The other thing is the sounds. The sounds on the comma 3 didn't sound that great. It's very difficult to make sounds that sound great on,
yeah, we're on master.
On devices like a comma 3 or a cell phone. Like, cell phones have good sounds because they've put an incredible amount of engineering effort in making those tiny shitty speakers on a phone sound relatively good. So yeah, this is master, by the way. This is how it's going to go to release in 8.12.
Yeah, so it's like an early look at 8.12. 8.12 will be,
exactly.
coming out pretty soon. Has to go through the whole testing process.
Yeah, so we're going to start off by trying some exits here. So, like I said, Mitchell has reworked a lot of how we classify exits and deal with exits in lateral control. I think this is the biggest complaint people had about lateral. And so we're going to try that out, make sure that kind of works the way we intended to. It should just drive by almost all exits now without any weirdness. So I think that's something people really will enjoy. And then the other big thing is sounds. You're hearing them here. The sounds they're much more chimey.
Yeah, they're real, and they sound really good on the device. They sound amazing. And it makes the comma 3 sound incredible, as we said it would. So that's exciting. It's been a long time coming. The sounds have taken a very long time to perfect, but we're finally there.
Yeah, it's surprisingly difficult to get very good sounds. I mean, these sounds have been designed by a sound engineer specifically for the comma 3, specifically for cars. Also, you can saw this exit. I mean, it is driving super straight, rock steady. And I mean, this is kind of the experience we've been having with this latest model since Mitchell's done all this work on the exit behavior. So I think that complaint has really improved at times. So let's see here. This car is taking the exit, and our car didn't even flinch. And I mean, this is just kind of how it works now. So that's a huge improvement in exit behavior. So I really hope you guys are gonna be happy with that.
Yeah, it's insane. It's never even flinched anymore. Like when I drive to work every day, sometimes it would. Now it doesn't even think about it.
Yeah, it's really crazy how much that rework that Mitchell did has improved this stuff. Let's try to do a smooth merge here. It's quite a lot of traffic.
Yeah, a lot of people coming in.
So yeah, those are the three big things. We gave you much better behavior on exits. People have been complaining that for a while. That was very difficult to fix. Mitchell spent a lot of time doing that. It was very difficult. It's a very complicated stack on how we classify exits and lane changes and stuff, and improving that's very difficult. But yeah, so Mitchell did a great job with that. The other big thing is sounds. We have completely new sounds designed by a sound engineer specifically for this device. It's completely different than what the comma 3 has been sounding like. And for me, it's addressed, all the complaints. I had the same complaints about the comma 3 sounds as you guys did, but I think this completely does away with that. And then the last big thing, another big complaint has been just longitudinal control in general, and more specifically at low speeds and in stop-and-go traffic. So we've spent all this time over the last couple of years really improving lateral control in openpilot, and longitudinal control has never gotten that much attention. And in the last few releases, we've really cleaned up the API and stuff, and now we're at the point where we can really start improving the policy. So we've shortened the follow distance to match better what humans kind of do, and we've made the braking and acceleration behaviors behind other cars more natural. So I think that really addresses most of the issues that people had. Let's see here, this is gonna be a tough one. Oh, it's gonna take this exit. We have to do that. So I mean, there's still some issues with cases where it's completely ambiguous and if the leads take the exit, but it should be much more confident now in whether it takes the exit or not the exit. I think the worst behavior is where it does something in between, and that is I think the biggest concern that's been addressed. And then if there's no car, generally it doesn't take the exit, and if it looks very ambiguous and there are cars, then it's kind of more difficult to tell.
Yeah, I might need big model for that.
Yeah, that'll help once we get there. So yeah, and then so I think the biggest two things we've addressed here: completely new set of sounds specifically for the comma 3, new and improved lateral model with a big focus on improving the exit behavior. Let's go back into the exit lane here, and then the stop and go policy. So we'll turn around here, and then we'll be able to go in more stop and go traffic, and we can talk about kind of the approach we took to improve the behavior there.
Yeah, I've been driving the Accord, which doesn't have openpilot longitudinal, and I went in the Civic for 10 minutes, and I was shocked at how different it feels than it used to.
Yeah, it's really been changed
it's a huge
a lot.
improvement. So everyone's gonna love it, I think. The follow distance is shorter in certain cases, and I think it feels just, like Harold said, a lot more human, because it's inspired by humans.
Yeah, so I think that the big thing that has been changed with the new longitudinal policy is I really started looking into what the braking maneuvers are that humans do behind a stopped car or behind slow-moving traffic, and compared that to what openpilot policy was doing. And I could see some different patterns. I think those of you that drive with openpilot longitudinal will have noticed that it brakes relatively early for a stopped car and then starts very slowly creeping into the car ahead of you. And that was just a function of how our openpilot longitudinal policy dealt with a speed difference between a lead and between you. So what I did is I looked at what does the data look like from human driving and designed a function that matches that. And so by doing that, we get now stopping behavior that looks much more natural and much more human. So slow down later, and it won't do this weird creeping thing, and it will in one relatively smooth motion come to a stop. I don't know if there's going to be a stop car here in front of you, in front of us. I can try that. It doesn't look like it. But yeah, so really looking at kind of what does human behavior look like, what feels natural, and trying to build functions that try to mimic that. I think we managed to get much smoother and natural feeling control. So there's that, and then there's also the follow distance. We've had a long follow distance for a long time because it adds some buffer for if it makes other mistakes, and we just haven't had it as a priority to look into that because there were so many bigger issues with our longitudinal policy, but most of those have been addressed. And so now we looked at the data, what's the following distance that humans usually take, and what's like a reasonable buffer on top of that for openpilot to take, and then we implemented that. So those changes, I think, change the whole stop and go feeling of openpilot longitudinal completely.
Yeah, it's incredible. You don't realize, I think, how bad it was until you try the new version. Like for me, the slow creep, I didn't even think about it because I've driven with openpilots for so long, but yeah, it really did, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, once you start paying attention to it, it also feels a lot worse, of course.
San Diego, look how pretty it is. You can come work here.
Well, I guess there was one more bug that we also fixed, is that there's a bug in the longitudinal policy that if you were stopped behind, or just stopped in general, started to try accelerate, then it went through this weird state machine that went through a starting state, and it ended up just taking a second longer to start moving than it should have. So that's been fixed. I think it's a pretty common complaint as well that it doesn't accelerate fast enough from a stop. So that's been helped a lot by that bug fix, and then just the general changes.
Yeah, so already we're in some traffic to get on the highway. Let's see how it feels. It's feeling good. Yeah, we're not testing end-to-end longitudinal today. This is regular longitudinal, but that means it's also gonna release in the next openpilot version, which is exciting. End-to-end's long game, but stuff's coming out now.
Yeah, we are working on the end-to-end longitudinal and the big mall and that stuff. It's just, you know, this policy is not going to go away tomorrow or next week or next release. So we wanted to spend some time trying to address these big complaints that people had. So that's why it's the people's release.
It's the people's release.
We really try to focus on some of the issues that have been annoying people. You gotta stop here for the light.
If you don't know what end-to-end longitudinal is, watch our previous streams where we try it, especially the last one when it actually worked.
Yeah, it's been a continual improvement process.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll go in some traffic here, but I mean, yeah, you can't really feel. I think most of the things that have been improved are things that you kind of just feel. And for those of you who have openpilot longitudinal, I think you'll feel a pretty big difference. So the big three things that we worked on are the sounds, the longitudinal, and better exit behavior.
The people's release.
And then the part isn't part of this, but it's also for the people.
Yes. All teams are working on stuff for the people lately.
Yeah, Christmas time is coming. We wanted some excitement.
Yeah, we're in the Civic for those who are asking, by the way.
Yeah, is there anything else that people want to know about?
Ask questions. You can ask anything about what we just said, about the people's release.
About the part shop.
Yeah, part shop.
About longitudinal.
Has anyone bought a part from the part shop?
Already?
Who knows?
Yeah, maybe it's, it doesn't hurt to have a spare camera. Who knows?
Need one of them.
Yeah.
Collect them all. Yeah, so I mean, I'd say already this is a shorter follow distance maybe than it used to have, at least on the Civic. The Civic felt a little too long for me when I would drive on it.
Yeah, it's about 20% shorter than what it used to be, so it kind of splits the difference between what the policy used to be and what humans seem to be doing. It's a little bit somewhere in between. We don't really quite want to go to like the human follow distance because humans are a bit more reactive and some chill, but you want to have some time to take over. You don't want to be on your toes all the time.
Yeah, no plans to release the schematic. Let's see. This is no, the Civic it's the Nidex Civic, so it just has stop and go with openpilot.
Well, it does have a pedal though now, I think.
Oh, you're using the pedal?
I think so.
Huh. We might be using a pedal. We might not be.
I'm not entirely sure.
I don't think we are. Could be wrong.
I don't know either. It doesn't feel super different, to be honest, with or without the pedal.
Yeah. Let's see. Let It Drive said, who's the following distance? I'm not really sure. I think because you have a non-openpilot ACC car, you set follow distance. Openpilot just has one follow distance, which is pretty conservative. So that's been lowered by 20% depending on the speed you're going.
Yeah, I mean,
what's the follow distance? It depends, right?
No, it's. I mean, it's in steady state. So if you and the lead car are going the same speed, it's 1.45 seconds now, and it used to be 1.8. So it's about 20% shorter.
Yeah, this feels great.
Yeah, I mean, there seems to be. I feel like there was traffic here just a minute ago.
Yeah,
I'm not quite sure what happened. But I don't know. You guys will feel it. I think this will make it to release soon, and I really hope that it fixed as many of your guys' complaints as it did ours. And I think after this kind of revamp of longitudinal, there's going to be a bigger focus on end-to-end longitudinal. The first thing that I think we can ship is going to be, if you're stopped at a light and the light turns green, you want to accelerate pretty hard behind the car in front of you, or even if there's no other car, you want to accelerate pretty hard. But with the current policy, there's not enough context to allow that acceleration and not accelerate way too hard in other situations. So hopefully when we have the model's going to say like, oh, here it's appropriate to accelerate really hard, and then we can allow that level of acceleration.
Here we go, we're getting into the traffic.
Yeah, see how it feels for us. But yeah, I think, you know, before all these changes, I didn't always have openpilot engaged in stop and go. I think there's some cases that just handled quite poorly, and it wasn't always that comfortable. And if I had passengers, sometimes I'd have to take over because it just felt a little bit too weird. But I think that's gone now. I'm super comfortable with this new policy.
Yeah, this is awesome. I pretty much always disengage for stop and go, so big improvement.
Yeah, and I mean, if anyone has stock ACC and wants to get in some of the action, you know, I'm gonna get these cars ported.
That's right. Get longitudinal working for your cars. Yeah, I guess ideally you find radar tracks like Greg found in the Hyundais. How to put radar tracks.
Would be great.
Thanks for the work. Looks awesome. Cool. Yeah, this feels great.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. So yeah, to reiterate, guys, completely new sounds. Just disengage and re-engage. Just get a sense of, I mean, it's kind of different than it is in real life.
Yeah, let me put it in front of the speakers. You hear that?
I don't know if we can trigger an alert somehow. But yeah, completely new sounds. They should sound great on your devices. And completely new longitudinal policy with a big focus on making stop and go just way more human-like, natural, and comfortable. Shorter follow distance, bug fix for accelerating from stop, and then taking less exits.
Yeah, it's a fantastic release. So yeah, this release is, you know, gonna come out soon. It's going through the release schedule. We'll release a full blog post as we've now been doing with all the releases. And yeah, maybe when it comes out, we'll do another stream to say that it's out.
Yeah, we can post some plots, kind of show what kind of the changes, how, you know, it's very easy to simulate longitudinal policy because it's one-dimensional, so you can do really cool plots, very easy to kind of debug. For lateral, this is all kind of more complicated. It's not that easy to kind of show behavior from like a single plot, but for longitudinal it's pretty easy, so. Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of other stuff in this release too, but they're kind of the big ones. I'm sure I can think of.
Yeah, are the new alert text gonna get in? I think it will.
Yeah, I think that's already on this one actually. I think a deep rework some of the alerts makes them a bit clearer, you know, less confusing text.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this release too, you know, there's certain alerts that were, you know, read before, like we're really separating between immediate disengage and where like something is wrong with hardware or something like that, versus like if you unbuckle your seatbelt, for example, that's a different kind of disengage. So now you can kind of tell the difference between those two modes, and they have different sounds and things. So that's nice. And you know, if there's an alert that didn't need to be read, then it's
Or should we give that a test? We'll
you want to unbuckle your seatbelt? That's a good
Well,
one.
that sounds. Oh, don't do that. We'll go into low gear.
So is it still steering?
It still steers, I think.
Yeah,
but
so
now
then it disengaged. So see, that's a lot more pleasant than beep, beep, beep. Because that's happened to me. I've accidentally tapped into neutral and
Yeah, no, I mean, in the
pretty
Civic,
scary.
I would go to like, I don't know, electric brake or whatever it is, and then just get yelled at.
yeah. But yeah, the buckle one's probably the same, huh? The same kind of alert.
Yeah, I can try, but I think it's the same thing.
Please fasten driver's seatbelt.
Oh, and even the car is yelling at me. Okay, I'm back.
He's back.
I'm back.
Yeah. So as you hear, I mean, those sounds are a lot more pleasant too. Obviously, if there's a real, you know, red alert, like bad thing, it's gonna be extremely loud and get your attention, as it should. So hasn't changed there.
Yeah, I think for some alerts, you know, it still makes sense to be very aggressive.
Yeah,
FCW
exactly.
as well is very
Right.
important.
So yeah, I mean, wow, this is great. This is a great release. We keep finding more things that the users are gonna love.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's next after this. I think after this release is gonna be a bigger push on like the end-to-end longitudinal stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point we're also gonna have to ship remove the laneless toggle. It's always laneless time, I think.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Yeah, does anyone have any complaints from laneless that they want to use this opportunity to talk about? I mean, I've been driving on laneless for, forever.
Nabil asked if end-to-end longitudinal and lateral are two different models or are they one and the same?
There's only one model. There's only ever one model. One model does everything. It measures the speed, it does calibration, it does
The lane line.
It does the lane
detection.
lines, it does the end-to-end lateral, does the end-to-end longitudinal. It tells you if you're going to disengage or not. It tells you, tells you everything. There's just not necessarily any benefit to having multiple models. We used to have like one model that did pose nets and like measured the speed and stuff, and then a separate model that did the driving. But now this is all kind of one big thing. One model does everything.
Yeah, cool. A lot of people keep asking when is the wide camera going to be used. We're working on it.
Yeah, we're working on it. I mean, the reason there wasn't a big push on it before is because we've tested some basic tests and we didn't get that much benefit from the wide camera for a lot of things. Like the issues are just in other places. There's bugs, there are other problems, and we didn't want to, spend so much time shipping the wide cam when we were already quite confident that at the time it wasn't going to improve anything. So, but now for the end-to-end longitudinal, you stop at a red light, it turns green. It's not going to go because it doesn't see the green light. So for that, we do need the big model. So that's why we're working on it now. But it's, it's quite a big change, so it takes a bit of time.
Cool. We got a lot of people saying laneless does well. Some people saying that.
What are the complaints? What are the bad
Seems like
stuff?
the complaints are like car tuning related. Like car
I
wobbles
see.
so much with laneless.
Yeah, I'd be happy to look into some of those. If you guys could send some routes on Discord or post some bug reports.
Yeah,
I mean, we are
very
moving to
helpful.
laneless only, so these are issues that need to be fixed.
Yeah, someone said their Toyota at low speed like kind of jerks the wheel around at laneless. Also sounds like tuning.
Yeah, I mean, laneless interacts quite differently with with control, so it's going to be different. It's going to be more sensitive to some things with tunes and less sensitive to other things, and so those are things that we don't necessarily know about. So if you have any particularly bad experiences with laneless that you feel like don't happen with lane lines, please, you can always complain on Discord. I think basically all complaints like that have a route I at least look at, and it's generally helpful.
Yeah, and it's very easy to find a route now, or find where it happens. You just go to comma.ai, see what happens, and copy the segment info. It's like 3 dots. You click that, copy the segment, and then you just paste it in. That's how to get the route. Cool. I think that's about it, huh, Harold?
Yeah, I don't really have much else.
People's release coming soon to your
Exactly.
Comma 3.
We're people too, and we like this one. So.
Yes, this is the best release in a long time. Reminds me of like when 08 came out, or like 07 came out. These big
Yeah, I think
releases.
those were some really good ones. The 06 series, I think, didn't that fix like phantom braking for longitudinal?
that was a great release.
Yeah. Phantom
This
braking.
is up there with the greats.
Exactly. Go down history.
Yep. Cool.
Cool. See you guys.
Bye everyone. See you in another stream.